3 easy summer ponytail hairstyles. Welcome back to my channel, everyone. So good to see you guys. First, we're going to be doing hair prep. I'm using the Pantene oil and then the 10-in-1 spray. I just lightly apply the oil, especially to the front part and to the ends, and then I just lightly spray. And then we want to brush it smooth, brush the ends down, and then we're going to gather it up into a ponytail, adding hairspray at the top, and then take a fine brush. And I'm going to be adding these hair elastic. They're the Outlast Forever hair elastics. When I started using these, I never went back. They're from Goody Hair and love them. They're the only thing that will hold up my heavier hair. I have pretty thick hair and also it's long, as you can tell, so these will hold it up and they're just great. So I'm going to be adding another one about 3 to 4 inches down, and then we're going to do a little topsy tail. So you poke your 2 fingers in the middle of the ponytail, pull it through. Now we're going to be making a faux braid. So you pull it down just a little bit more, 3 inches down or so, 2 to 3 inches down, pull it down again, poke your fingers through the middle part, and then pull the ponytail through. Again, pulling it down is just very easy. Poke it through, you can make new holes and it'll look even more like a faux braid. Poke your finger through, add it, and then pull your ponytail through again. You can stop at any length, but I'm going to go all the way down to the ends this time. Push the 2 fingers through and then just make sure you're going through the same way every time so you're not undoing the braid. So there you go. It looks very much like a fishtail and I love it. It's very easy, and if you can't braid or you just have trouble braiding, you can try this and let me know if you like it. The next hairstyle is going to be by my beautiful princess Cindy. She's going to be brushing her hair smooth on the top and just adding her Outlast Forever hair elastic. This is not sponsored, we just really like these. And she's just going to add it at the nape of her neck. We usually do 2 to 3 turns on the ponytail, and now she's going to make a braid. If you are just learning to braid, you can do just like Cindy. She's putting the braid over her shoulder, each piece over her shoulder, just to help keep the pieces separate and so she doesn't get confused. So this is a simple 3-strand braid. Pulling it over her shoulder, and then the next one, as you can see, it's very easy to learn how to braid doing this. Once you get a little far down, like past your neck, you can put your braid over the shoulder if you have long hair like Cindy does. And then you're just going to continue the braid all the way down to the end. Now we're going to be adding a scrunchie this time, and just to give it a little pop of color at the very end. And now to make it even more fun, she's adding this really cute and bright claw clip. And that is it. She's adding it, or pulling the braid up and then just adding the braid, adding it to the braid, and then letting the end of the braid fall down. And I think it's turned out so cute. Now we're going to be doing the hardest hairstyle. I think I'm going to just start out with that ponytail again. You can wrap your hair elastic or not. I like using a topsy tail thing to go with it, but this time I'm just going to be pulling it through with my ponytail holder. So you pull the ponytail holder out just a little bit. It's just a trick to cover it. Go all the way around until you are at the very, very end. And then you can take that end piece of hair and pull it through that ponytail. And the ponytail holder should be able to be hidden pretty easily after this. So you just want to pull on it. And now we're going to make an infinity braid. And make sure you get that little piece that was dangling down. Now you're going to take 2 pieces and then take one little piece on one side and go under that piece and then over the next piece. We're making a figure 8. Now we're taking that piece under and we are going over the other piece on the other side, on the left side where we started. Now we're going to be adding just a tiny piece on the left side on the underneath part. This is just to keep the infinity braid together more. So you're pulling kind of an upward motion, going under and grabbing a tiny piece again. And make sure it's really tiny so that way you're not using up your pieces and you don't make them all the same size, because that's what you do not want, because then it won't look like an infinity braid anymore. So you're going over the left hand, grabbing, or left side, grabbing a tiny piece on the underneath side of the left side, and then going under, and then over the right hand side, and then pulling up as you go. That way you keep your infinity together. Again, under, and then adding a tiny piece. Making sure you separate that, and then you're gonna grab a little tiny piece again, put it with the other piece, and then your section is being pulled tight again. Now I'm putting it over my shoulder because it's just easier for me to work with it. Again, keeping the braid tight by pulling on, taking the small piece that you're using to make your infinity, and you're pulling it on upward. You're pulling it upward so that way it'll keep the braid tight. And just keep adding little tiny pieces every time you go around. Now you can skip it sometimes adding a piece, but it will, and make sure that you add a piece at least every other time you go around. So that way you'll keep your infinity together. It'll just look more neat and tidy this way. Like right here, I didn't add a piece and it turned out just fine. So I go around again, and this time I am adding a piece. Pulling up, going around, and now I'm going to add my elastic. Now it's very important to remember that you only want to tie one side first. So you're gonna leave the two pieces that you started out with, you wanna leave only the little piece that you were using to make the infinity, put it to the one side, and then you can add another elastic and put the two pieces all together, and that is your infinity braid. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.